Here are the names of 3 to 5 SaaS tools that I use in my business that are critical to running it for success. Hello, my name is Nick Gray. I started a company called Museum Hack that did renegade museum tours at some of the biggest, best museums in America. We would hire stand-up comedians and Broadway actors to lead these live, interactive experiences. We used tech and software to power and to grow our sales and our leads. I sold that company in 2019. And now I have this weird book that is called The 2 Hour Cocktail Party. And that's what I work on now, is marketing it and trying to encourage a whole new generation of hosts, whether that means a cocktail party or a happy hour or a mastermind group or a networking event. I'm obsessed with gathering people for in-person, online, and in-person relationships, really. That's what I'm most excited about. I hosted hundreds of parties myself in New York City, and those parties helped me build a network that helped me then grow my business and launch my multi-million-dollar company, Museum Hack. An interesting fact about me that not many people know is that almost all of my 20s, I worked in the avionics industry, selling electronic equipment for small planes and military aircraft. I attended trade shows. I traveled all around the world talking to jet owners and working with this electronic equipment that really was a family business. My dad started this company in the basement of our house. I joined right after college and helped him hire his first employees. And then we grew it into over 70 people. It was really weird. I would be on private jets all the time, but they were always broken. It's not like I was flying around the world in private jets, usually trying to help them fix their planes and quote new equipment that would be used in the retrofit or refurbishment cycle. It was a wild world. I used to know the names of all the private jets. Here are the names of 3 to 5 SaaS tools that I use in my business that are critical to running it for success. So today, I use Trello with all of my team members. Now, you've probably heard of Trello. A lot of people use Asana or Trello. I just like Trello. I use it with my virtual assistants and my freelancers to help assign tasks and track them through the publishing process or different projects that we're trying to do. You can sign up for a free account on Trello, or you can pay more to add add-ons and power-ups. Another one that I use that maybe you haven't heard of is one called Birdy, Birdy. I use Birdy to A/B test my profile on Twitter. A funny thing is that I am now focused on helping people make new friends and meet new people. And I did an A/B test of my profile name using Birdy, and it helped me get better new followers and more conversions. I also use Birdy to A/B test my profile description. For anyone who uses Twitter, sounds like I'm shilling for them, but I'm not. It really is a good tool. Birdy.so. Another thing, I send a lot of emails. I have something called a friends newsletter, and I've tried many different platforms. I tried MailChimp, ActiveCampaign. There's other ones out there if you have a smaller newsletter, but the one I'm on now is ConvertKit. And I like ConvertKit because it plugs into my website. A fun fact is that ConvertKit has a VIP support team that will help you migrate from MailChimp, where I used to be, onto their service and platform. They'll import your name, set up your database. They do it all for free because they're trying to get some new subscribers. So I recommend ConvertKit for that purpose. I also use WordPress. This is a no-brainer for my blog. I have 2 main blogs, and it's really my content management system for all these articles. It allows me to have a really good website. We use GeneratePress, which you may have seen mentioned here before by others, to have a really fast, lightning fast website for good Google search engine scores. Something else that I use is called Opt-in Monster. And Opt-in Monster gives me these pop-ups and lead forms to help me capture people's email addresses on my blog. Now, I get over 1,000 visitors a day to my blog reading my articles, but I really wasn't capturing many of their email addresses to grow. So I started to use Opt-in Monster. I'll be honest, it was a little bit hard to set up, but once we got it going, it drastically improved all the new leads that we were capturing. We also do lead magnets, and Opt-in Monster and ConvertKit really help for that. So for example, if somebody wants to download career day speaking tips, that's one of my most popular blog posts, they can download it in exchange for their email address, and we'll send them a PDF for that. I also really like that Opt-in Monster lets us do A/B testing. So again, you can tell that I like this A/B testing to see what type of copy really converts the best. Different headlines, bodies, and graphics. Those are the overview of the SaaS tools that I use to help me run my business. Two of my favorite places to hire talent from. Number one is Upwork. This is obvious and you've heard of it before, but I can't think of a better platform that includes reviews, ratings, and is just easy to use with straightforward filtering and pricing. I've used Upwork for, gosh, I don't know, maybe 10 years from before they were called Upwork. I hired my first virtual assistants, customer support people, all using that platform. In fact, with my last company, Museum Hack, my first staffers were all hired through that platform. I really like Upwork because I can see people's reviews and their reputation is on the line. If they don't do a good job, then they're worried that I'll leave a bad review for them. Equally, though, they can see my reviews. If I'm not a good employer, then I get a bad review. I think I'm a pretty good employer, so that's why I have a good rating there and I get good scores online. The second place is I actually hire a lot of virtual assistants from the Philippines. There's a headhunting company called Shepherd that I've used before. I also hire them directly myself if I'm willing to run the recruiting process. That process can be complicated. I mean, you'll have hundreds of applicants and you really need to do a good job of screening. If you have the budget for it, then I'd use a headhunter like Shepherd. If you don't, then consider placing the ads yourself and running a recruitment process. If you do run a recruitment process, you need to run some sort of online resume filtering system where you can track all of your candidates. I used a service called the Resumator for a long time. They've renamed it. I think it's called Jazz now. And that just helps us put all our candidates in one area to rank them, to send them questionnaires, and then to set up the interviews. By the way, one other tool that I use, and even training people, is Loom. I use Loom all the time. My name is Nick Gray. You can find me on the internet at nickgray.net. I wrote a book called The 2-Hour Cocktail Party that'll help you make new friends and build your network in an authentic way. I'm obsessed with trying to get 500 people to host a party or a gathering or a company happy hour. And then I share on social media at Nick Gray News. I have really good stories on Instagram. Check them out and say hi on Twitter.